Okay, so imagine for a moment that you were this hiker here, looking off into the distance from somewhere high up in the coast ranges of the Pacific Northwest. As you're taking in the view, a bunch of questions start to fill your mind. You wonder, how did these mountains get here? How long does it take to build a mountain like this? As you look off towards the sea, you start to think about the large earthquake that people say is inevitably going to hit the West Coast. You start to wonder, where will I be when that earthquake finally hits? How violent will the shaking be from that event? You start to think about the earth beneath your feet. You remember that plate tectonics says that the earth is constantly shifting around, but you can't see it. It's happening too slowly. It's happening too deep. Still, you wonder whether or not the restlessness of the planet is somehow influencing you up here on the surface. These are the kind of questions that I try to address in my research. So I'm a seismologist, which means I use the subtle and sometimes not so subtle shaking of the ground to try to understand what's going on deep inside the earth. The area that I'm interested in is the Cascadia subduction zone. This is a 1,000-mile long fault on the west coast that runs from Northern California up into Canada. This is where an oceanic plate is driving beneath North America in a region capable of earthquakes up to a magnitude 9. My specialty lies in using energy from distant earthquakes to image the earth beneath us hundreds of kilometers deep below our feet, deeper than anyone could ever hope to dig to. I use earthquakes from very distant around that we collect using seismometers that are deployed across the United States and even on the ocean bottom floor. I look for anomalies within the seismic images that we get and try to understand how the earth behaves the way that it does. In my research, we found 2 regions of partial melt deep beneath the west coast of the United States that we think are pushing upwards on the tectonic plates above them. And we feel that this extra push up from below is helping to build the Klamath and the Olympic mountain ranges over millions of years, like helium balloons trapped beneath a blanket. But we also think that this is influencing where the fault is stuck and year by year accumulating stress. This is influencing where we're most likely to have large earthquakes occurring. This is a brand new view of how subduction zones work. And through this research, we're offering a bottom-up approach which helps us to understand how the deep earth can influence what we see and what we feel up here on the surface. Thank you very much.